In a few weeks, we are losing the following expansions from the standard rotation. The Forged in the Barrens expansion that launched in March 2021, the United in Stormwind expansion that came out in August of 2021, and the Fractured in Alterac Valley expansion that launched in December of 2021. So, there are several cards in all three expansions. I am very excited that they're leaving standard, mainly because I'm tired of losing to them. It's been around 2 years, and still some of these cards are seeing daily play. Here are my top 10 cards that are rotating out of standard that I am most excited about. I am asking you now, my awesome kick-butt viewers, which cards leaving the standard rotation from these expansions are you most excited about? Which ones are you least excited about? And which ones are the most memorable to you? Please leave a comment below. Let's go over my choices. Celestial Alignment is a very powerful card, even after its nerf, and is almost impossible to counter. You were very aware that when this card hit the board, you were in for some trouble. This is not a card I'm ecstatic to see leave the rotation, but a card that was absolutely memorable and had its time to shine. Xyrella the Devout. Death Rattle Priest is a difficult deck to counter, or at least was. This 8-mana hero card took everything out of me at times, turning what I thought would be a below 10-minute game and turning it into a 30-minute game of you are the NPC in your opponent's single-player game. I am happy this is leaving standard, but scared for what it will end up as in Wild. Amulet of Undying. This card was released in United and Stormwind, and I have not seen a month where this was not played since its release. Another one of those, you are the NPC in your opponent's single-player game. It was tough to face this card, as everything you did, spent time and mana, killing, just came back over and over again. And if the player pilots the deck right, there are 2 of these cards. Again, 32-minute games. I think I will sleep a little bit easier knowing I will not see these too much longer in standard. Mutinous. I love Murlocs, probably my favorite tribe of all of them. But it is time for this beefy 7-mana 4/4 legendary from Forged in the Barrens to leave the meta. It has not been too prevalent in the past few months, but how many times did you have the perfect game-winning hand, ready to win the game, and then this fishy smelly Murloc just jumped up on the board and turned it from an easy win to an absolute loss? For me, it was too many times. He will still be used in Wild, absolutely, but I am happy that his time has finally come. Rustdrop Viper is memorable to me, mainly because I played Paladin, and it absolutely sucked losing my Cariel weapon. It seemed to happen specifically to me, and usually the exact turn after I put the weapon down. Bye, Rustdrop Viper, you will not be missed by me. Mr. Smite has seen an overwhelming amount of play since the card was released in the United and Stormwind expansion, and since it was a neutral card, it was in so many different decks. I played this myself many times in different deck compositions, and I think it's time for him to go. He was a massive win condition across the board for so many months, and now it's time to go see him play in Wild, unless they make him a core card, which is another situation we won't talk about. Scales of Onyxia. This druid card was a pain in the hiney. Oh wait, you thought you had a board full of stuff? Let me clean that up for you. Bye, Scales of Onyxia. I, for one, am not sorry to see you go. Mass Polymorph. Okay, here's one card I will say good riddance to with absolute certainty, and I'm sure many of you agree. Nothing like all your board synergy and all your death rattles and your high attack minions being transformed into 1/1 sheep. My wife is a mage main, and every time I heard her in the other room cackling like a madwoman, I knew she just dropped down this card. Apologies to her opponents, she loved doing this. Kazakhstan. We do not see this card much anymore, but when it was super prevalent, how many times did you know this card was coming? And how many times did we actually win once this card was played by our opponent? This was a secondary win condition 99.9% of the time, but you knew it was coming. You knew this card was coming turn 4 or 5. It is a very memorable card, and one I do not mind seeing go to Wild. Last one, but not least, well, I lied, because this will make the list more than 10 cards, but the quest cards are leaving standard rotation, and I think this is a good thing. I have seen almost every quest card being played in the past 2 months, and it's time for them to be moved out of standard to let other types of decks see play. There are a couple of quests right now that were very weak, did not see much play, but it is March 2023, and one of the most popular decks right now for Druid has the quest card front and center. Same with Warlock, same with Hunter quests. I am still seeing these played. This is not saying I hated these quests, it's just time to let new strategies and interactions flow in the meta. Well, that's it. These are more than 10 memorable cards leaving the rotation. What are your thoughts? How wrong am I in these decisions? Which card should I have included? How upset is my wife going to be when Mass Polymorph is gone from Standard? Leave a comment below and please subscribe for more.